Coach, first, any updates on AJ Greer?
Yeah, he's in tonight.
What does that do for the team, not even just from what he brings on the ice, but just getting a new player in at this point of the series?
Well, he's been such a positive part of what we do, but that would include Jesper Bohlqvist, who's coming out. So we put another guy that's played very well for us in the playoffs. So there's that positive vibe. I think the big look, there's a chemistry on that line. They positionally become really structured very well. So we expect that tonight.
Right side, third row.
Paul, Barkov is at -4 and doesn't have any points in the finals. Are you worried at all about his playing?
We're trading him. No, I'm not at all. There's action at both ends of the ice all the time. And I don't think this is a statistical series because it's not relatable to series that you've played in the past. I mean, the shot attempts, the sheer volume of quality offense driven by both teams. At the same time, both teams are defending very well. So, well, I got a minus on the 4-on-4. It's a heck of a shot block. It's in the back of the net. I didn't bench him. He's good.
Left side, front row.
Paul, with Anton, I mean, you've talked about how, Marchand has helped unlock him offensively. He's been consistently very good defensively since he basically got here. Just how does he continue to play at this high level for such a young player this deep, in these playoff runs?
This is where I think we always talk to the older players about the value of experience because they have it, but the curve is sharpest early for young players, what they learn about playoffs. And I don't know, what's his number now? He's into the low 60s in the last 3 years. So he's going to come up on almost a full season of playoff hockey. So he's just a veteran guy now. He's just not a young player anymore. He just so that experience that he has, both maybe it's a Barkov, Luosterainen, Lundell, Mikkola thing. They're all hyper consistent players. There's not much change in the game. Which goes, I wasn't trying to be funny about your question. Their consistency level is just through the roof. So they'll have a couple of nights where they're minus, but their game isn't wrong. And then they'll get a couple of nights where they're heavy plus, and there really isn't much aberration in their game. I just don't think of him as a young player anymore. He's a veteran guy.
Right side, fourth row.
Paul, I wanted to ask you about Bobrovsky, and I know you've said you'd kind of stay away from the goaltenders a little bit, but as a coach, can you speak to maybe the clutch factor and if, that's really a thing for goaltenders and how he fits into that?
I don't know. I mean, I just totally take goaltenders are just taken for granted by the time we get here, right? There's so many. We'll talk about the overtime goals and those guys, but it's shift for shift, right? The saves they make change the course of either team. I think, but he's been so consistent, right? Like he was a very good player in November this year. When our team wasn't really good, he was pretty darn good. And he's put himself in the position that maybe that I just lied to you earlier about the older players and experience. I do think older goaltenders' experience is really, really valuable. Their ability to stay mentally in a game, because both goalies have faced 5 or 6 quiet minutes and then incredible shooters, right? So it's a high intellect game for the goaltenders.
Left side, second row.
Hey, Paul. Your team's a +1 in special teams through the first 2 games, but has had a hard time getting in on the power play at home throughout the postseason. Yeah. How important is it to convert on your opportunities throughout these next 2 games?
Well, we're down to there's no more than 5 games left, so that may be the deciding factor in any one of them. It's a critical piece. I have absolutely zero. I think the number is something like 3.9% at home and 40 on the road. I would suggest, though, that we're not either, and no team is. We've never run a 40% power play home or road, and we don't run a 4% power play home or road. I think I have absolutely no idea why those numbers are so skewed at all. and we've talked about it, and then once we got to the point we couldn't figure it out, we just left it alone. That's some high-end coaching there from you people. I don't know is the answer.
We'll take two more for coach, left side, second row.
So Bennett, Ekblad, and Marchand all having great postseasons, good years. What, in your experience, separates guys who thrive under contract pressure and guys who maybe let the contract year get in their head a bit?
Well, if your game is driven by what contracts are handed out on, I think you have a higher susceptibility. I don't know that you buckle under the pressure. I think you have a higher susceptibility for failure, possibly. This is just a theory. But we pay these guys on goals and assists. For defensemen, even that we do. That's still a big number. So if you go out and especially I would say with our team, and that's your focus, you're not going to have very much success, or you're going to put yourself in a position where you struggle. Confidence becomes this critical thing, right? It's going for me or it's not. Or if you get out of the gate, like Sam got out of the gate hot, maybe that had something, that was a good thing for him. But if you get, it's your contract year, and you get 15, 20 games, and you got bagels, that can affect you. So none of those three men hit the ice with that as their primary goal, right? They are structured. They play within a system. They play really hard, which I believe would give you a better opportunity then to generate offense. But you have a foundational game that you can hang on to. So if you, like Sam did go, he had a stretch this year where he didn't score. It really wasn't the end of the year because his game was still pretty good, and I don't think he was particularly worried about it. So they're not point guys. They produce, but that's not how I view them as players.
One more, back left.
Hi, Paul. During the playoff, a hockey player will be battling injury and try to push to stay in the lineup. AJ Greer was saying in French that he was not healthy enough to help the team. Do you
Right.
like that maturity level from AJ?
Yeah. Well, there's a threshold with all these guys when the guy sitting out can be better than you. And AJ just had gotten to that point, right? Bo could come in and do what AJ was doing, and he did. He came in and played great for us, which gave AJ a chance to heal. There's a lack of selfishness that goes to, that might be harsh, because the driver of that isn't a contract. It's they want to help the team win. So they're willing to play with just about anything. And both teams over the last 3 years have guys that have played with broken bones. But I can't speak for their team, but I'm just sure of it, right? But there's a threshold there, and the deeper your team gets, the more you have to take the sacrifice sometimes and say, I can't be as good as that player can be. And then it's some self-awareness too, right? That you know that you're not right where you need to be. So we were fortunate that we were able to heal AJ to a place that he's really confident in what he's doing. But good on him for recognizing that as well. It wasn't a fight to keep him out, but he's ready now.